So I've just finished watching the MMA Guru response on Nina's response to him posting a photo. And as you can tell, look at me. Are you going to be surprised? I'm going to defend my Pookie MMA Guru. Not just because I like him, but because adding to the video of the hypocrisy from Nina supporting some of MMA Guru's viewpoints too. It's very interesting because I also want to add with Nina calling out MMA Guru because he fat shamed. Fat shamed. I think because I'm fat that came out. Fat shamed, whatever. As we see here, who called out Colby Covington? Did she call out Colby Covington for? There's a complimation. Only a minute and 24 long, but doing 10 press ups. Losing weight. This is the thing, right? Probably the most two famous reporters in UFC is Errol Hawani and then Jon Morgan. And the point I want to make about this, and the reason why Jon Morgan's famous because he generally asks the first question. The point I want to make is, why did no one come to the defense of Jon Morgan when Colby Covington did it? Jon Morgan, if you're talking about a respected MMA reporter, he's been there for years. He's generally the first guy to ask the question, and also one of the known reporters in the MMA world. I had no clue who Photo Amy was. People in the industry do, but they also would know Jon Morgan. Why did no one defend Jon Morgan? Is this a bit of a, like a sexist thing where people only defend fat girls and not fat guys? Like, it's also the difference is MMA Guru is an independent source, so he doesn't work for the UFC, doesn't work with the UFC. I think he's mentioned he could have done. No, he's a reporter on UFC, sometimes MMA in general, but he's a comedian. He's independent. He does his own thing. He isn't someone that works for the UFC. So you have a guy that makes a tweet versus a guy that says multiple times to Jon Morgan, who is paid by the UFC, that represents the UFC and potentially could have been a UFC champion, at a live audience where probably millions of people have seen Colby Covington say that to Jon Morgan in some form of social media platform. You don't call him out, but you call out a guy that's independent from the UFC, that does have edgy comedy, that does have dark sense of humor, which makes it even really ironic considering that I tried looking at what you are. Whoops. I tried to find essentially what you did before, but MMA Guru said it. You are a comedian. So you being a comedian should understand that some people may have comedy styles that are different to yours. I didn't know you were a comedian. I wouldn't have assumed you were a comedian, to be brutally honest with you. I didn't laugh at your content. The thing is, her interviews are good. Her content's good. I don't think anything of it, to be brutally honest with you. It's not even good. It's just, I don't think anything of it. But instead of also replying in a comedic way, you respond in a very serious way. If you were to respond in a comedic way, it probably would have taken heat off your friend more than put it more on. If you responded, I don't know, there's rumors of MMA Guru being in a wheelchair. I mean, you could be ableist or whatever, but you're a comedian. So there's lines you can push for comedy. I just find it very ironic that was a comedian and this guy has a different sense of comedy, and I don't know. Company people, right? Company. And it could potentially even be the fact that the UFC have said, now this is just my conspiracy theory, so don't come at me. Do better weed and do. That's all I need. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what my conspiracy theory was. I'm too chong to even know what I was thinking then. She's a comedian. It's ironic that, she should understand the different comedy styles. And I also looked to see if I could find anything on her defending Jon Morgan. Nothing. So, also, People say MMA Guru's fat, right? I think people assume he's going to be like my physique. This is what he looks like. That's DDP. So that's the current middleweight champion. Now, obviously, this is like a Shane Gillis photo where he looked. I haven't seen this in ages. He looks gigantic. Look how small the Rock is to him. It's kind of the same thing with this, but he's still like 6'4". You probably thought he was more like that. But yeah, but I can understand. It looks like a mushroom. But no, he's not. I wouldn't say he's fat. It's just I think a mesomorph. I don't know why I'm glazing him. I don't really care if you call him fat. Let's move on from that. I've lost interest. This was kind of interesting. So let's see if she keeps the same energy with the wife beater Jones, roasted the same reporter by burnt potato or burned potato. Amy, who is the person MMA Guru took out of, you're showing your girls how men treat women. They will learn to accept abuse because it's normal to them. Disgusting. That was a response to Jon Jones saying, I love how people are imagining the worst possible situations in their head and making it somehow factual. I never hit my fiance and our daughters were woken up after our confrontation. I'll scroll down a little bit. Then he DM'd her saying, first of all, you literally look like a witch. Second of all, keep my girls out your mouth. Pause. You have no clue what's normal to them. You're disgusting over there and judging someone else. Fuck off. I wouldn't say it's the same roasting there. And it was a DM that someone screenshotted, or I don't know, John screenshot that and posted out. I'm not too sure. There's something Mmaguru posted about. Here we go. So this was about Jon Morgan. When you're an MMA media that's been called fat by entire fan base and some of the actual UFC roster for years and nobody cared because you're a man. But no respect for crying about it. Imagine if I had told Amy to do 10 press-ups. Yeah, this is exactly what I was saying. Smitty. There we go, burn potato. Did she get mad at Colby Covington? Jon Morgan catching a stray. Oh yeah. MMA Guru. That's what I was gonna do. Thank you, no bleeder. I literally remember what I was gonna say. This is exactly what I was gonna do. Right. This is what even makes it more hypocritical. Let's go to a post where she first posts about. I can't find the comments because last night I viewed this. Or yesterday, I viewed it pretty much straight away, and there was loads of positive comments with Nina, or I won't say positive, but defending, and they were calling MMA Guru fat. And the thing is, if your moral high ground is the fact that you're complaining at someone for doing something, and then you do the exact same reaction to them because you think they deserve it, you're worse than that person. You can't complain about someone doing something and then you do it yourself as a response. That's an eye for an eye. So I think it's those people are worse than MMA Guru, which then Nina should call out and say, no, don't call someone fat. We don't want to be fat phobic here, guys. But we obviously know, if you watch MMA Guru's video, you'll know that she laughs at Sean Strickland making a fat joke about women. You know, Jon Jones, really like him. Flees the scene. Whoops. Flees the scene. Could face jail. Don't know how he didn't go to jail then. But she is fine with Jon Jones. She's fine with Sean Strickland. She doesn't call out when Colby Covington and other fighters potentially call Jon Morgan fat. She's not saying, hey guys, don't call MMA Guru fat. That's missing the point here. And then she just goes on. I don't know if she's a plant. I've never seen anything like this. I don't know where she came from. Just one day she just popped up. So I don't know how she got there. She just appeared. My perfect example, whenever I mention anything about women in sport, is the UFC did it perfect, in my eyes, with Megan Olivieri and then Lauren Sanko. Okay? They don't use their assets to get views. They dress, let's say, professionally. You know, they know the sport. I think Lauren Sanko's competed in the sport. Megan Olivieri, I think she's married or can't. I don't know if they've broken up now with that bantamweight mate. They got knocked out all the time. But that's a perfect example of, you know, how to normalize a woman covering a male-dominated sport. And the reason why I mention that is because MMA Guru makes a very good point on girls using their assets to get what they want. If it was a bloke in whitey tighties, massive bulge, and he's sat there and he's just talking to his Twitch chat, just chatting. And we all know the majority of the audience are, in this case, women. And probably the majority, I would hope, because it'd be weird if you're over the age of 21, let's say, that you constantly watch this stuff of a girl sitting there. Now I'm turning it into realistic things, of a girl sitting there just being half naked, or pretty much naked. But let's say we know the majority of the audience under the age of 18. We all know it. Like, it's pretty obvious. It's, if you're 13 years old, this is the best thing since sliced bread. But why is that normalized? That wouldn't be fine if it was a bloke doing that, but why is it normalized now? The issue is that this is so easily accessible. So TikTok goes off your algorithm. So it can just be constantly that every time you open TikTok, it could be that if you program the algorithm. The same with Twitter. It will just appear suggested feeds into your algorithm because that's what you look at. Facebook probably does the same. Instagram probably does the same. You go into Twitch and you can just go to just chatting or hot tub streams, and it's just girls that are half naked. And you go down, look below. Oh, it has all of my linked things, and you've got, then if it's from Twitch, you've got the Twitter, you've got the Twitter, you've got Instagram, then you can have the OnlyFans link, and all of a sudden a 13-year-old is now, I mean, who isn't at that age, but is addicted to. Girls are trying to combat against guys sexualizing them. Then you need to combat it also at an early age. So if they are constantly looking at girls in that demeanor, then that's going to be their viewpoint of girls when it comes to progression in life at that age. But you support the girls that do that and call guys incels if they are against that. And some of them are, don't get me wrong. But even if what I'm saying, you'll still just call me an incel. I'm not saying Nina is that type of level with the just chatting and whatnot. But if you're purposely saying, I'm going to use my assets to get views, to be brutally honest with you, it's either going to be a 13-year-old or a 60-year-old. There's no in between that, oh my God, I need to view Nina. I need to go look at a Nina interview to see that. There's no in between. No, you just appear on my feed. I don't go out looking for you. I mean, I did now, but I don't go, oh my God, if Nina put an interview up. I think her saying the fact that she'll use her assets to get views or use to advantage, and you know you have kids following you, is very weird in principle. I don't actually think her profile fits. I mean, it's very soft. I think it's very soft to what kids can watch now. I don't know. I think this is very soft to say that her profile actually does that compared to what we can see. I just think it's like just an average person posting up content, to be brutally honest with you. I think her saying the fact she will use assets to get views with kids potentially watching is weird. Don't think she's the same level as the other people I spoke about, but I do think it's important to put that in this video, because I do agree with that. But with Nina, I wouldn't say it's her. Like, it's too soft for me. Need a pill for that. No, but I agree with MMA Guru. However, there are two things. There are two things. I didn't realize Israel lied about cancer, and also Bisping hating McGregor. Can someone tell me why Bisping hates McGregor? Did he sleep with someone? I need to know. Big dog.